From Kingfisher Lake to our studio, the soon-to-be married Denise Lottie.
You had to get that in there,
Let
didn't
me
you?
be the first to congratulate you. April, huh?
You're a
That's
little
right.
late.
Yeah.
Denise is going to be co-hosting with me in a couple of weeks while you're
Away.
away.
Yeah. We'll have our farewell then.
We'll have a farewell.
And it'll be best of, Denise,
Yes.
won't it?
You can tell me all about this guy. But let's move. Had you been to the north before?
I'd been to Labrador, but not the north in Ontario. And the Anishinaabe Nation is huge. I think it covers like 2/3 of Ontario is this nation. And so we had the chance to fly into 3 communities up there with the Lieutenant Governor's office, visit schools, see how, these literacy programs are affecting change in these communities. And it was really an incredible experience for me.
How lovely for Ruth Ann Onley to take her sweet gift, she's the gift.
Yeah.
We miss her on this program.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have a chance to show in this report, but I will be bringing another report featuring Grand Chief Stan Beardy's story. But she actually performed when she was up there. She sang Amazing Grace in Oji Cree and got a standing ovation.
Wow.
So it was quite a powerful moment, but just that idea of building bridges to these communities. And it's something, that she said her husband isn't able to do just because of mobility issues. And it's become something that has given her it's something she never dreamed of doing.
What would be a lasting impression of your trip up there for you personally?
I think just the remoteness of these places. I think it's so hard for us to imagine being that isolated. These are fly-in communities. They have for several months a year a winter road that you can drive across lakes, so that does provide some connection. But this idea that these tiny communities are completely isolated. And you just think of what that means in terms of even technology, that they don't even have fiber optic networks up there currently, so that they can't access the web and unless they go through satellites. So it's just a really, I think that overall feeling of isolation and yet community. They're such strong communities.
You were featuring this wonderful literacy program that was begun by the former Lieutenant Governor, James Bartleman, who is an outstanding man. And I was so pleased when His Honor David Onley told me that he was going to be continuing that. Were you impressed with what's happening with that literacy program?
Because, well, and like Ruth Ann said in the report, she said, this is about accessibility. And education is about accessing what, we have these national standards in our country, and these kids are falling behind. And so we need to give them what they need to come up to that national standard and have the access to opportunities that we all have.
It's pretty tough for a young person to grow up in that kind of isolation, huh?
Absolutely. And, and going to high school, that was something I didn't know before, that if they want to go to high school, they have to leave their communities. And if you can imagine a child at 13 or 14 leaving home and going and boarding somewhere and going to high school, I mean, high school's tough enough without having your family
not there to support you.
And one of the drivers who drove us to the airport in his pickup truck was telling us his son had left, and he was saying how the whole family, they were just weeping when they had to say goodbye to their son. So it's a sacrifice that people make to get an education. So whatever can be done in these communities to raise those literacy levels, to give them those tools is great. And I have so much optimism that technology, like having those fiber optic networks to connect them to the world, will provide more opportunities, less remoteness.
Well, Denise Lottie, as always, a terrific report. Thanks for coming by.
And more to come.
Yeah,
And
more to come.